Now this reading is going to be solely on Beyonce and Nicki Minaj because I just really always wanted to do one reading on them, and because everything just started getting heated up right now and everything just starting to get a little bit out of control, I figured it would be a good timing to actually do this reading that I always kept postponing. Now, this reading will be all about the energy that is surrounding them, the general energy between them, and each person's energy towards the other one individually. And how does Beyonce feel about Nicki Minaj always bringing her husband's name up each single time? Because both ladies are always, standing 10 toes down behind their husbands to just, keep it like that. And I just really want to know what does Beyonce think about that, um, and really see how does each woman feel about one another. Okay, because this just looks promising a lot. Plus, they always, like the fans always ask for a collaboration. Beyonce shows love to her by playing some of her songs. Like they were playing some of her songs at the Renaissance World Tour. Nicki always praises her on Station Head, wishing her happy birthday each year. Beyonce sends her merch. And yeah, they always just think greatly and highly of one another. And I just hope that we're just gonna find the same energy deep within. Because if not, I'm gonna be heartbroken because that's my main thing. It's like I stand both ladies and I just want the peace to be there. But we're going to see how do they feel. It's like, both are always the type to be, I'm gonna stand behind my man, I'm gonna ride with my man through um, whatever it is. And that's what they always do. So let's just really dig into that and see what we might find in here today. So without further introductions, let's just get this party started by the general energy check-in between both ladies. Okay? Okay, let's see. This reading is going to be on Beyonce and Nicki Minaj. Oh my god, a lot of cards. Okay, first I'm hearing there's like lots of confusion in the air. Okay. Um, can you please get the energy between Beyonce and Nicki Minaj? Beyonce married and Nicki Minaj. What is the real energy between both ladies? Okay. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm not really that surprised, but Beyonce's energy is Beyonce's energy is like you better watch that tone, or like you better know what you're doing or where you're stepping because those are not the calmest types of waters that Nicki is laying in right now. You know? God, okay. A card flipped over. Oh well, three flipped over actually, and then another one. Yeah, it's always because of them, man. Like it's always because of Jay-Z. He's always there. He's always gonna cause problems. It's like whatever happened to the past? What happened to that loving, respectful energy that was once there between us all three and between us two? Like now it's all just, filled with like tension and just feeling like you're just trying too hard to break up this family or just talk shit about this family in a way, and just talking a lot about everything else. There's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of anger and just feeling like, why do you always just gotta trash talk everything else? Or like, why do you always gotta just talk a lot? Whatever happened in the past. Like, let it go. Because there's an energy of just feeling stuck and feeling like this isn't going somewhere, isn't going to go into any good direction, and feeling like this isn't just looking too pretty either. There is that frustration and feeling like this is not, this is not eating the way you thought it ate. You thought you ate that. You thought you were doing something, but it's not. There is the energy of just feeling like you're just doing way too much, just doing extremely and entirely too much, and it's just not, it's just not good. It's just not paying off that well because there is like lots of passive aggressiveness here, and like, well, passive energy altogether, and just feeling like whatever this is isn't good, you know. There is just like lots of misalignments in here too, feeling like whatever shit that you have, just keep it there. Just keep it a book and keep it on the low because this isn't going to do you any good. If he wants to just like do something, that's the thing though. It's like, he's there. He is the one taking care of the situation about Jay-Z since, she's talking, you're talking all that shit. You know that if he just wants to, or like if he puts you in his mind, he's going to keep going until he gets what he wants from you. And Beyonce's energy is like, you don't want to do that. It's like you don't want to go through that or do that. Well, I mean, who you're telling? Nicki is very stubborn when she's mad, so she's not gonna rest and she's not gonna focus on anything else until she achieves what's on her mind. And Beyonce knows that, and she's like, that is not going to take you anywhere. That is not going to take you nowhere. Why are you you know being also aggressive for? It isn't going to do you any good. She sees her as someone who is disregarding all the consequences and just going and doing all that shit and just looking unfazed. But she knows that if she is to just sit down and just really look at what the fuck she's doing, she is going to see how it's not going to do her any good and it's not going to benefit her in the longer run. And now this whole energy between them is lacking, like lacking that type of playfulness or whatever it is that was between them in the past. I was gonna say behind them because everything is just like stuck now. And see, ain't that the truth? Everything is just stuck now. Everything is just stuck now because there are so many like realizations about some truths that Nicki has in her statements, because I'm hearing they're somewhat true. And Beyonce is seeing that as it like she knows that. But now people are starting to see that too, and it's not it's not pretty. It's just gonna create even more resentment, and even more it's going to create more bridges, burn more bridges, and create more drifts, and it's going to create more tension again. And it's also going to it's going to, what is the word? It's going to ignite more of that fire and just really like bring up all the old wounds and open them up all over again, and just bring up more tension and more of that shit that was, once they thought that was like dying down. It's just going to be all the way brought the fuck up, and everything is just like so standing still. It's not moving forward. It's only going backwards now. Nothing is just, doing well because everything is just not good, and everything is just so extra right now, you know? Yeah, there is a lot of feeling like, if I can't just speak on this shit, or like I can't say something, because feeling like everything is just so frustrating now. Like, what the fuck? Whatever the fuck happened to everything that was once there? All the good memories and all the good stuff. Now everything is just not doing too good and not being so well, And then feeling like whatever it is, there's just no progress. There's just like no movement forward. And it's something that is both frustrating, even more, and angering even more, because there used to be that respect, there used to be that, support and that balance, and, at least tolerating one another and just really being respectful towards one another and just loving and at least just being clear on whatever the fuck it is. But now everything is just like shifting backwards and like upwards and down, simply because everyone has a personal vendetta here and everyone has a personal goal, and most of them do not align with one another. That's why I said first that the values are just like misaligned now and everything, because each one is just going for the other one's family. And as I said, both of them stand 10 toes down behind their niggas, so you really can just see how it's going to go from now on and how it's going to start moving even more. But yeah, we're getting somewhere. I did not expect. I mean, I did expect it in a way, but I just did not expect it to just really lack all that playfulness and everything. It's getting serious now. It's gonna get more serious, even more too, because oh my god, I'm hearing like, oh my god, what the fuck is she gonna bitch about now? Like what is she gonna talk about now? I keep seeing Beyonce like side eyeing this situation and just really like, when she has like her resting face and she just really like assess the whole situation and she just really takes everything in. That's her take on this and like that's her energy on this. She's just like sitting there and just seeing how everything is moving. Meanwhile, Nicki is just really looking very bothered by everything and just really like talking and talking and talking and talking about it all. And yeah, she's talking about it all. Like she is. You can't even like lie about that because she really is talking about everything and she keeps taking it too hard too. So it's really hard to just differentiate between it all because everything is just getting so mixed up now. Okay. Now we're going to see Beyonce's actual interview towards Nicki. Then we're gonna see how does she feel about her mentioning her man every single time. Because we know how Beyonce be doing so. Yeah, we're going to see Beyonce's interview towards Nicki right now. Okay. Oh, damn. The paper flew. Okay, let's see. What is Beyonce's energy towards Nicki Minaj? This is Beyonce's energy right now towards Nicki Minaj. Oh, oh. She definitely sees okay. Okay, fair enough. She sees how Nicki is like going off the rails. Damn. I mean, she's getting straight to the point. That's one thing about Beyonce, though. Yep. Okay. She is going to. Okay, she might tell you like a joke, or she might just be polite in your face. But if you really get on her nerves, she's gonna tell you, or like she's gonna let you know. But in this situation, she's just keeping it for herself for now. Okay, but she does see how unfair. Well, yeah. Well, fuck. E. Okay, she does. Okay, I'm sorry about this, but like at times I just really like look at this. And I'm just like, do I really want to say that? But I mean, when you do tarot, you kind of just have to be like unbiased about stuff because even if you personally like whatever artist that you're doing a reading on, but you see stuff that you don't like, you're eventually going to say it. But some people just kind of like to spin Instagram just to say that we're not gonna mention that. We're not gonna talk about that because people are not gonna like it. But I say that regardless, people are not gonna like anything anyway. Not everybody is just comfortable with seeing or hearing stuff for what it really is or what it truly is. So you can't really just do anything about it because you can't change that. Okay. Okay. So as I was saying, um, that's crazy though because Beyonce is like, whatever happened to how you were? It's like, yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to see. It's like, whatever happened to that? She sees how unfair everything is turning out, but she knows that people change and everything changed. She knows that that Nicki has been hurt in the past before. She does not disregard that or neglect that. She knows how it is for black women in the industry. Regardless of people saying, oh, she's a fake activist or she just talks to talk or whatever the case is, but she knows how it is to, or like how it feels to just be shunned or like, well, just be talk like be hated on just for existing and for nothing in particular and whatever. So she doesn't really just disregard that or like neglect that, but um she definitely does see how everything has changed. uh how everything just changed with Nicki. She sees that. Does it make her sad? Yes. Mm, does it make her see Nicki differently a little bit? Yes. But at the same time, she's trying hard not to judge her, but she makes it hard because she sees how everything has affected her, you know, and that is something. I'm sorry, I'm kind of setting my laptop up right now. Um, so, hold on, just one moment. Okay. So she sees how, like Nikki is kind of like making it hard for people to just really like at times defend her or just see where she's coming from. See, and that's crazy. The Hermes card is the Virgo card. So, and the Magician right after it. So, like, that is her energy towards her. Um, is she is she angry or feeling like some shit that Nikki is saying is unfair and way beyond whatever it is? Yes. Uh, yes, and yeah. And she sees Nikki as someone who is completely disregarding the consequences of whatever she's saying, of whatever and of however she's acting. Yes. Is she sad that she sees Nikki becoming like this also? Yes. As I was saying, there is something about, when you see someone who you used to just really admire or just respect kind of like go a little bit off their rails or just really like become someone who they so vividly said they would never become, or just say I would never change like that and then become exactly just like that. It kind of makes you really sad, or just really makes you see how heartbroken you must have become in order for you to just really like hit that level of just inconsistency with everything and just really be so imbalanced and just so unfair. She sees her as someone who kind of lacks at times accountability, who would blame everybody but not really see the wrong in her own actions. And she sees her as someone who is not, oh well, she sees her as someone who is not that ethical anymore, because look at how she is hitting below the belt just to prove points. That is her energy. Fuck. That hurts me. I'm not even the one, who is who is looked at like that. Damn. Yeah. She sees her as someone who has become extremely biased in whatever it is and who has really set a goal in her mind that she wouldn't rest until she achieves. And that goal is to kind of destroy her husband and just like demolish her husband and just really like talk mad shit about him. She's just sitting there and seeing how Nikki is just really like constantly bashing bashing him, bashing his brand, and bashing everything that he's done or like he's ever done to her. And it's crazy because Beyonce's like, I know to what extent he goes, but do you really need to say it out loud for the other people to just like really realize that? Not everybody needs to know stuff. Like, I know what you're enduring. I endure worse when it comes to him. But like, do you really want to say all that? It's crazy. Because yeah, she does want to say all that. She does want to say even more. Well, I guess this is just like, both questions of, how does she feel about Nikki saying all that shit about him, and how does she feel about Nikki? Both are combined. So, lesser questions. Yeah, she definitely sees her as someone who has become so obsessed with just wanting to prove points, or just like wanting to always be looked at, or as someone who is so obsessed with just wanting to better herself and everything, that she actually forgot the concepts behind that. So she's bettering herself because she sees her as someone gets who just gets worse and worse and worse, which is anyway not so wrong, but it's gonna need some time for Nikki to actually just like see how far she's gone, because as in for right now, she's not seeing all that. All it is that she see is her just wanting to do all this and just wanting to say everything that is out there, you know? Yeah, she's here as someone who just really wanna dominate a lot. It's like she doesn't see the proper difference between her and Jay-Z, because like, damn, y'all all do shit like this. Y'all all are similar in a way, feminine version of him. But it's like you are wounded by him, so it's different. But he's not going to like respect you anymore or like any less now that you're doing shit like that. She sees her as someone who has lost that type of passion that was once there, that made her really see her as, her peer. The thing is, like, Beyonce doesn't want to see her as her opponent or like as her enemy or whatever, because yeah, she's still like giving her the benefit of that, and she's still giving her that grace. But it gets really hard once you keep seeing how everything is, like how she just keeps going in and in and in and going on and on and on about all this, and how she doesn't stop because she's so restless about it all, and it's just going to fuck shit up. She has an opportunity to just back down and not say anything anymore. But she knows that Nicki is triggered and like shit. I'm sorry, but she knows that Nicki is triggered and insecure enough to just keep going until people approve of whatever it is that she's saying, and you know it's going to just create so much more issues for Nicki within the industry because people are not very fond of her, and this is just going to create more issues for her. No matter what other people say, this is somewhat true, because even if the public rocks with you outside of social media and whatever, but they surely do have a heavy influence everywhere. And if she want to keep that, like, this is all Beyonce's energy. If she just want to keep that rebellious act, or like rebellious and bad guy image of just saying fuck you to the industry and saying fuck you to all the other shit, and just like all the managements and labels and everything, it's just going to bite her in the ass. Because hold on, sorry. Because it's not going to do good. Having all those like outdated types of views and points of views when it comes to certain situations in the industry and everything is not going to help her for the longer run. You know, okay, it is good to be original. Beyonce knows that and respects that. But like at one point, you're just going to get worn out, and it's not going to help you anymore. Like you, of course, she does see Nicki, being strong and having a backbone, but she also knows that she is worn out and she is tired and she needs rest. But nobody is going to tell her that, and she isn't going to be telling her any of that. Is she disappointed in her choices and in the way she is addressing stuff? Yes, heavily. Because, we were friends. Or like, I see you as my peer. I see you as someone who I used to party with. I used to rock with and everything. And now everything is just changing. Like now you have become, like you used to be so secure. She sees her as someone who used to be, yeah, see, she is going to just, fall back even more when it comes to Nicki. She's going to detach herself some more when it comes to Nicki. She's not going to, Beyonce's like, you made your choice, you are talking about everything, and now everybody is going to move accordingly and differently. Like she is going to lay low when it comes to all this, because she's like, how do you go from being such a graceful person, such a graceful queen, to just like being so pushy, or being so catty, so spiteful, so like deceitful? Why? She does see her as someone who, yes, gets insecure a lot, burnt out, who is low on confidence no matter how she's trying to paint herself now, because she knows, like, I've been there, I've been in her shoes once, I know how it looks like. Only difference is I did not publicly just say that. I did not exteriorize, sorry, I did not exteriorize that. But you always have, appreciation for her, and for her craft and for whatever work that they have done before. She's not gonna just neglect all that, because she's still going to be grateful about it all. She's going to fall back though, because talking about the man who holds us all, about the household, about, him wanting to take control and everything. She's right about all that, but she's never going to come out publicly and say shit like that because she knows better than to fucking say shit like that. The fuck? Yeah, I keep hearing Jay-Z say she knows better. Um, yeah, she sees her as someone who has like changed so much. Like, what's happened to you? You used to be so mature. Like, you used to be so generous, so luxurious, so organized and practical, and just, a social butterfly, just always bringing joy wherever we met up and everything. And now, everything just got flipped the fuck over. Yeah. Everything's just like so deceitful. She is disappointed in her and how she became, and that is why she is going to make the decision of just staying out of the picture because she does not want to get into this egoistic battle that her husband and that her friend or once her peer has. She does have lots of opinions now when it comes to Nicki. Mostly are clouded with like what's happened to you, what's ever happened to you. She still does think of her as a good companion and as a good friend, but it's never going to look as good as it was before. Yep. Never gonna look that good anymore. So yeah. Man. Okay, we're gonna see about Nicki and how does she feel about Beyonce and Beyonce and Jay-Z all together. Well, just Beyonce and shit like this, and then we're gonna go from there because I'm not trying to make this like too long. That's just like the other question I have, honestly. Nicki and Beyonce. Okay. We're gonna see about this now. Let's see. So we got energy towards Beyonce. Energy towards Beyonce. How do you feel about Beyonce? Nicki's energy is mainly bored now. Like, okay, you're not gonna do something. You're not gonna say something. You're never gonna react to anything. Well, there is something here about. Ooh. Okay, let's see. Because cards are flying. That's the thing, though. Like, Nicki's issue is not with her. Nicki's issue is mainly with her husband. So she knows how to separate people, but which is like you're just related to him by default. So you are in the mix, but you're not gonna say anything because you're too brainwashed and you're too I just find it it sounds like very amusing to me how she says stuff or like thinks about stuff and everything. Like you're just related to him by default, and she says that, and it's like, okay, wait, hold on, I'm sorry, because like they're not talking, obviously, I'm not talking to you, they're not communicating now, but she's contemplating about stuff. She's contemplating and she's indecisive when it comes to Beyonce because, like, I respect her so much. I love her so much. And she shows her lots of love. She's indecisive when it comes to that because, like, that's the thing, though. It's like, when two friends are kind of, like, parting ways or just are not as, just as good of friends as they once were. And each one of them just views the situation differently. Beyonce is more of like the reminiscent type about, whatever happened to you, what made you change so much. It never was like this with you. And Nicki's energy is like, I don't have an issue with you. I have an issue with people who are surrounding you. But you're not going to understand that simply because you haven't been in my shoes and simply because you can't say anything because you are controlled or like your mind is controlled. And you can't say much about it because you can't even speak up your mind freely about stuff. But that is her personal opinion about, her being related to her husband and her knowing that she isn't going to come to her rescue or benefits her when it comes to that. But she does see her as somebody who is, passionate, who is confident in whatever it is she's doing, who can make a change if she wants to make a change. But she refuses to take sides. And that's something about her that's kind of just really makes Nicki iffy, or just gives her the ick in a way, because you have the chance to do the funniest thing ever, or like you have the chance to do the most chillin' to the bone thing ever, but you're not gonna, you know. And it's funny because I keep seeing the number four, and the number four is always significant when it comes to the Carters, you know, when it comes to the Carters. And that also indicates, how everything is so cleverly approached. Because the number four is always about the leadership, is always about just taking control. It's always about just cleverness and just, about everything. This is just like, well, I say just like not randomly, but just like, sorry, generally in numerology. Um, it's always symbolizing something. But as I was saying, it's just like her contemplating about stuff, and you know, it's always just her feel like whatever it is. I know I'm not gonna have to ask about shit or ask for shit when it comes to that, because it's never going to be served properly, or like justice is not going to be served when it comes to all this, because they're not going to play that like the proper role in a good way. They're only using it for selfish reasons, or like for whatever it is that is going to benefit them then, or whatever it is that is going to give them something to really think of, or like to really just to really just like leash off of, or just really profit off of, Okay. There is something here about indecision, feeling like whatever it is, it ain't it, whatever it is just not going to do anything, because Beyonce is Beyonce. Beyonce is known for just being silent and just realistic on her own, but it's really just living in her own bubble, And she sees, yeah, it's like Beyonce is not gonna say anything, but she's always going to stand 10 toes down behind her man, just like how Nicki is currently, and she knows that. So she's really not singing anything, or just really expecting anything from her, But she does see her as somebody who is like cocooned, or just a little too out of touch with the reality, simply because of how she was brought up, and because of her, yeah, because of her upbringing is what I'm hearing. It's crazy though, because like always Nicki's always comparing their upbringings and whatnot, and she lately has said so in Press Play, that song with Future that she put out. Yeah, it's like she sees how she is. It's like I would take her advice when it comes to my career, when it comes to my work, because she is a workaholic. She's a perfectionist. She is someone who knows what she's doing and everything, and she's always like going for. She has a keen eye, and she's always going, for the minor details and brushing over them, and just always doing something that is good, and always doing something that is beneficial for her. But she's like, I know that she's unhappy in her life, I know that she's not doing all that good, because how can she when she's linked up to a man like that? Oh, yeah, no matter what she's saying, I know that she's not as happy as she claims to be. And I know that she's not in the healthiest relationship either. I know how it goes. If he's doing all that shit to us behind the scenes, to artists and everybody else behind the scenes, imagine how is he treating, the people who are closest to him. She's like, I know. Blink if you need help, baby girl. That's crazy. Why is Nicki like this? Why is she saying that? I mean, she's not lying, but like, oh my god, I did not expect her to say that. Or like, that to be in her energy. Okay, let's see. How does Nicki feel about, her and Jay-Z all together? And it's like, I don't wait on anything from her because I know how it is with her and with him and that marriage and everything. That nigga slumped all over her. All over her is what she's saying. She sees shit for what it is. That's the thing about Nicki. She's realistic in everything, but she always chooses like the wrong approach for stuff. And nobody's gonna, listen to her fully or just like fully believe her because, well, it's Nicki who's talking. So they're not just gonna see shit or like say shit just because it's Nicki, But she really does not like the fact that she can't just move or like she can't just do anything and like she can't just have her own personal opinion just because she's linked up to him. She doesn't like the fact that, there is nothing there to help in everything surrounding this. And she also sees Beyonce as someone whose potential has been dimmed simply because she is like her full potential has been dimmed or like not fully unlocked simply because she is linked up to him. She knows that she is going to send souls down behind him, and she knows that a lot of the issues that are stemming from her, ongoing shady beef or sneaky beef with Jay-Z is all related to the issues that he has done for her or against her in the past or that he keeps doing like from then till now. And she feels like whatever it is that she's doing now is the right thing to do simply because she's going to speak her mind and simply because she's just in her head she's thinking that she's being just like righteous and just really fair and just really just when it comes to all this. Like, it's only right that someone is just finally speaking the fuck up against everything, But she doesn't, she's like, this is gonna serve as a lesson. But she doesn't see how it's just she doesn't see the bigger picture now. The bigger picture is not so clear. And just cropped up now or like cropped out now because she's hurting. Everybody should just know everything and to know the truth and just really move accordingly to that because she sees the opportunity and she sees this and she just want to control everything and she just wants to have control because if he's stubborn then so am I. He's matched with me, but she should just really be careful when it comes to all that because not everybody just wants the proper opportunity or like the proper results or like the same outcome. They could just laugh and smile at your face or like in your face and everything and then afterwards just really give you the bird or like flip you over afterwards and you just be looking stupid or just should be looking like a deer caught in the daylights. So this is how each lady feels about one another. And now boundaries are just going to be put up there and just created because not everybody just is wanting the same results in here and not everybody is liking how shit is turning out. And that is something that is going to really affect everything now and from now on. So that is the Nicki Minaj and Beyonce reading. Oh wait, I did not do what is going to happen next. I am so sorry, I forgot. I'm so busy trying to not make it a super long reading because for some reason I don't know, I feel like the shorter ones are better. But let's just see what is next between both ladies. and then hang it up. Okay. So let's see. What is next between Nicki Minaj and Beyonce? I mean, we're not really going to see stuff happening because mostly it's just each one has, her own personal feelings about the matter. Never going to voice it over though because, they have the utmost respect for one another still and they're not going to just say all that. See, they're not just going to say all that and they're just going to keep it deep down and just keep it deep within because they have memories that both ladies cherish dearly, and they have iconic moments together, and they can just throw all that shit to the dust just because of that. But you're not gonna see them, just being all lovey-dovey and just really doing stuff. But you can never say never because there might be an opportunity for, let's see, will they ever work together again? Hmm. Eh, they have old collaborations if that helps. They have that, but would it ever worth it? Let me just get one more card before answering this actually. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it might be possible if everything is just settled down and if they just want to. Because one thing about Beyonce, she's still going to show love if she want to show love. Nothing's gonna stop her. Um, you know, because why not just like try one more time and everything if she wants to. If they just communicate things or just be open and vocal about stuff, they could like release some song that they have together, or they could just make a proper decision when it comes to all that if they want to. To just do all that. There is something here about them just standing strong, just like still being strong when it comes to all this. No, okay, there goes. Well, I spoke to someone. Pettiness, feel like I'm not gonna do this or like I'm not, it's dead. I'm not gonna do anything. Just doing too much. If Nicki keeps doing too much and everything, it's just gonna hit a dead end and like a rock bottom end. It's not gonna be pretty because it's like a lot going on there. Like a lot of resentments and everything might start getting built up if nothing is going to get discussed. It's like it can go both ways. Either a good way or like a bad way is gonna be unfortunate because both are legends and everything. And well, if they don't collaborate anymore, it's the people's loss. But if not, then they could work it out and just talk, kiss out, and everything, and just still give the people what they want for a one last time type of thing. But yes, that is what is next. Just each one of them moving gracefully and just individually when it comes to everything and just planning the future and just really not saying shit much. But yeah, there could be a chance for something good and there could be a chance for something bad. It just depends on how everything just turns out. But as I was saying, yes, this is the Nicki Minaj and Beyonce reading, and how does each lady feel about the other one, and how everything just keeps like getting dragged out and just jumbled. And let's hope for the best when it comes to all this. And bye. I'll see y'all in another reading.